Kirby has joined the ever-growing group of millennials entering their 30s, so it seems that Nintendo felt the best way to celebrate this would be to finally bring Kirby into true 3D space, instead of just teasing us with level-specific 3D angles and experimental bonus games. This is Kirby and the Forgotten Land for the Nintendo Switch. Like many of Kirby's adventures, this one starts with him getting dragged through a magic portal. He wakes up on another planet in the ruins of a post-apocalyptic world that bears an uncanny resemblance to Earth. Is Nintendo trying to warn us about something? Yes? No? Maybe? Well, Kirby's not here to solve that mystery. He's actually here to rescue the many Waddle Dees that have been kidnapped by a new foe. It's about the level of storytelling you'd expect from any Kirby game, and it does its job of making sense out of this game Nintendo has presented us. The visuals are as bright, smooth, and colorful as ever. Sure, some tree details are a bit muddy up close, but the game overall looks really good with well-polished characters and environments. I mean, check out this carnival level! Okay, maybe carnival levels in games in general have an advantage with all their colorful lights, but still. I don't care that this game caps out at 30 frames per second. This looks fantastic! The sound design maintains the Kirby standard too. The sound effects are cartoony, the music is a great mix of lively, cheery, and epic, and the voice acting is limited to Kirby's little yelps of joy, anger, or pain. The rest of the characters all speak in subtitles, except for one really eerie scene, but I won't spoil more about that. It's really cool to finally see Kirby in an actual 3D game, but it's not like Mario Odyssey like I was hoping for. Instead, it's more like Super Mario 3D World, as in levels are still linear in their structure, and you can't move the camera around with the C-stick, but you are able to run around a 3D space and explore it, but unlike 3D World, there's no time limit. Although I would have liked something more like Odyssey, the design still leads to some great Kirby gameplay. Kirby fans will find a lot of familiar aspects of this design with the combat, the puzzle solving, and searching for hidden doors and objects, but it's all expanded into 3D. Even the level theming is familiar, and it's still used in creative ways. It is the first time I've had Kirby run through a mall or an amusement park. Instead of gears or crystal shards, your goal is to find Waddle Dees that are hidden throughout each level. So while you can run through the level from start to finish and be rewarded with 3 Waddle Dees at the end, you won't beat the game that way. So part of the challenge is exploring each level to find the hidden Waddle Dees, and that is very engaging. There are also little figure cases hidden in levels too, but those are more for aesthetic bonuses. There's also a weird achievement system that normally wouldn't matter if it weren't for the fact that these achievements give you more Waddle Dees. You can't reach 100% completion without these achievements of not getting squished, taking down 5 posters, helping ducklings find their mom. It's this design that makes this seemingly innocent and simple children's game suddenly challenging enough for older players. What I did like though is how you could see the fruits of your labors in Waddle Dee Town. The town starts out tiny with only a movie theater, but as you rescue more Waddle Dees, the town gets bigger. Before long, you'll be able to watch cutscenes in the movie theater, enter in codes for bonus coins at the post office, replay boss fights in the Coliseum, and buy food from the cafe. Uh-oh.
I'm hungry.
And I can understand why after looking at this menu. Those of you who follow me on Instagram probably saw my post that Universal Studios should make the Carmouth cake a real dessert at their parks, since Nintendo Worlds are opening up one by one. But this brings me to another new ability of Kirby, the Mouthful ability. Mouthful mode is a new way for Kirby to tackle specific challenges in wacky ways. He finds some large, glowing object, sucks it up, but then gets stuck with him around it. This is actually really good for adding another layer of challenge to the game with things like racing against the clock or ground-pounding cracks on the floor. As useful as this ability is, I have to mention how hilarious it is to see a pink vending machine with eyes shooting soda cans or a pink staircase hopping around. It's also weird to think that this means Kirby can stretch his whole body farther than any human can, but even he has his limits on what he can eat. It's all just part of the Kirby charm, I guess. Waddle Dee Town also has a weapons shop where you can pay the Waddle Dee blacksmith to evolve your powers, which is yet another new addition to Kirby. Evolved powers have additions to them that enhance your abilities, like the ice power being able to make snowman torpedoes, or the needle power making crystal needles. This all reminded me of the combined powers that were used in Kirby 64, and just like in that game, these power evolutions give more of an identity to this game. To unlock these evolutions, you have to find blueprints in the levels that complete these time challenge runs thrown throughout each of the 6 worlds. These trials are all engaging tests of your speed and expertise with each power. It was how I quickly figured out that there was more to each ability than I originally thought. Completing the trials gives you rare gems that are used to evolve your powers after blueprints are found, and thankfully you don't have to beat the target time for them to count. The target times are just for more coins. Almost every power can be evolved, even the sleep power! Kirby needs his power naps! Anyway, it's really good how many powers can be evolved because having an arsenal of evolved abilities really helps in the later levels. Waddle Dee Town also contains a few minigames to play. They're simple and fun like most Kirby minigames, but as a side note, you might want to play the Marble Maze in handheld mode as the gyro is more precise in handheld mode. You can either play these games to beat a high score or to compete against a friend, which brings us to 2-player co-op. At any time, a second player can jump in and play as Bandana Waddle Dee and use his spear for combat. That's great and all, but I feel like the game should have had an option for player 2 to be a second Kirby like what Return to Dreamland did. Just so player 2 can use the same variety of powers as Kirby. But co-op in Kirby games is always appreciated. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is an awesome game to add to your Switch library. It keeps the charming elements that worked in previous Kirby games while also introducing us to new elements that work just as well, chief among them of course being 3D space. It's an easy recommendation even at full price. Well, that's my review of Kirby and the Forgotten Land for the Nintendo Switch. To help me produce more videos like this, please support my Patreon page. Special thanks to my current patrons here. Also check out my previous reviews of Kirby and the Crystal Shards for the Nintendo 64 and Kirby's Return to Dreamland for the Wii. Or just click on my Kirby playlist to see all my Kirby related content. See you all next time!